how the 1% actually manages their money and have full control. And this is designed for someone like you that might have a stable income, you're renting, maybe even have a mortgage. Congratulations, by the way. There is maybe still a feeling of, oh, I'm being squished, I don't have enough left. And that is what we're gonna go through today. So let's start with the reality. 73% of millennials across Europe live paycheck to paycheck. And that's a really big number. And that means that more than 2/3 of your peers are right now in the same situation like you, but we have that 27% where we want to be, where we have a stable control of our finances. Most earn a stable income, but the system is not designed for accumulating wealth by itself. Basically, 46% do not have an emergency fund. And I know in America, this is a lot higher even. So if you're in Europe, we are doing pretty well with the emergency fund, but we want that number lower because it's so important to have an emergency fund in case something comes up. This can be something from a car repair, medical emergency, a job loss, and you're instantly back into debt. So that's why we're having an emergency fund to keep us in check. So being in debt, that is not freedom, that's being fragile. Because if something comes up, it's over. And also millennials, so people between 25 and 35, they have around a net worth nowadays 3,000 euros in their bank account, while the previous generations had roughly 64,000 euros in net worth. So that could be including a house that most of us cannot afford right now. So how do we even start, right? Well, the situation is real, but let me tell you, there is a good solution to all this, and I know how to fix it. So let's go through this together. So where does your money go? Well, your rent consumes basically 40 to 50% of your monthly income in some major cities in Europe, like Stockholm, Berlin, Paris. This can exceed over 50%. So that means that already over 50% of your income is already gone. So it might feel like, whoa, how am I gonna have anything left? There is nothing. And as well, we have rising costs. We have energy bills that are rising. Our groceries are rising up. They outpace the wage growth as well by over 3x, and creating a shrinking monthly buffer every single month. And you don't have a budget. You don't have a system to track where your money is going, which means that you might have money leaks that is going out of your account every single month and you don't notice about them. This could be anything from subscriptions or small items that you buy unregularly, but that you don't have control over. And then you wake up and like, oh, wow, I have no money on my account. What am I going to do now? There is 15 days left for payday. I only have 50 euros left. What am I going to do? So this isn't a personal failure. This is a clarity problem. So here's the question that everyone asks. How is it even possible when all of my money is gone? How can I escape the paycheck to paycheck cycle when every euro already has a job and the job is going out of my account and never coming back? How does the 1% do it when I can barely cover my rent? These are some of the questions that I've heard. So the answer to all of these problems is having clarity plus control equals freedom. What the 1% has figured out that most of us that haven't is that they didn't earn more money. They saw where the money is going. They got clarity. And with the clarity that they gained control. They know where the money is going. And now we can take control of our money and put it towards where we want it to be. So it's not the answer of earning more. Many people always say earning more, but that is not always the case. You can earn the same, but throughout your years of working, you will earn more. So technically, yes, earning more will take you there faster, of course. I'm not saying that you shouldn't earn more. It's always good to earn more and strive for it. But that is not the number one topic we need to find out. It is having clarity of your money. And I just want to give you a quick pause here. And if you're getting any value so far out of this video, I would highly appreciate it that you like this video and considering subscribing to the channel as well if you are interested in growing your wealth, getting out of personal finance problems and out of debt. I'm here to help you. So let's continue with the video. So the step one out of this journey is to track every single euro. What we do, we track 100% of our expenses for 1 month. So the 1%, they use budgets, and 73% of millennials, they don't. And that's a big difference, a massive gap. So they don't track 80%, 70%, they track 100% of their money. And that is how they gain control. And you can do this very easily. You don't need anything very complex or anything like this. I literally have a simple Google Sheets that I have shared with you. It's down in the description. That will make you be able to categorize all your income, your spending priorities, and there's no guesswork because you know where the money is going. And you can also see how much you're gonna save this month. And also, of course, we need to have a little bit of fun money to keep sane, because not spending anything, you will go sane, yeah? Or insane. So with this spreadsheet, it does all the math for you. And on here, the most important thing with doing this is to identify your leaks. So on average, a renter would find between 200 to 400 euros a month of untracked spending. And that is everything from your habits that you have, the subscriptions you might have, unintentional spending, the coffees, not all the coffees, of course, but maybe you buy a coffee and every single time you buy a donut as well. Maybe you should buy a better breakfast so you don't need a donut, right? Or make the donuts at home. It's really nice. I love to bake. I'm putting it out there. I love it. It's really nice. So this 200 to 400 euros is your seed to building wealth and get out of the living paycheck to paycheck that most of us, 73%, is living. Step 2 in this journey is to allocate your money smart. So we shall follow in this example a 50, 30, and 20 rule, meaning 50% is your essentials, so it's like your rent and your bills. Then you have the next one, which is the 30%, which is your which is your normal wishes, basically. It's dining out, it's entertainment, it's the hobbies. And then we have the 20, which is saving for the future. So this is savings, your retirement, and also saving for something you would like to do. For example, holidays and things like this. So it's all categorized for you. And I understand what you're thinking. I can't afford 50%. My rent is already over 50%. How am I gonna do this? Well, this is where the leaks once again comes into the talking. And next point is the 1,000 euros emergency fund. In 3 months, you can build this emergency fund by just finding your leaks. And this frees you up from debt traps. So when you have these 1,000 euros and you've never had it before, and the people that is watching you might already be on this step, you have 1,000, you're ready for the next step, and we're coming to that. You might already feel like, wow, okay, this is great, because now I feel a bit more freedom. I'm not stuck, you know? And then we have the third one, which is a really, really important part, and is automate transfer. So you automate your transferring on the payday. So basically, I usually Revolut, where I can put all of my money into different pockets, and the money knows exactly where it's going. So here's for the savings, here's for the emergency fund, here's for the trip we're going through, here is for Christmas. Everything all there, calculated for every single month already. And then I know already there, oh, this is the amount I can spend freely. So what gets measured and moved gets saved, like the 1%. And then we have the third step, that is investing long-term wealth. So if you have already done the previous steps and you're in step 3, this is where we're going right now. The 1%, they don't pick individual stocks. They don't try to time the market. They invest in, for example, global index funds where you have the whole world invested in, instead of thinking that, oh, this tiny company, they will grow 10, 20, 100x, you know? You want a stable growth over time. I know it might be boring, but throughout the years, the average return is 7 to 9% on a global index fund. And that compounds as well. So if you start with just 50 to 100 euros a month after your emergency fund, of course, then that compound growth turns millennials into wealth builders. Because listen to this. If you save 50 euros a month in a global index fund, over 10 years, that's 6,000 euros. And if you had a compounding return as well, then that could be between 8 and 10,000 euros that you have saved up just by being disciplined. Of course, there's no guarantee of how the market will go, but in what the average historically have been, this is where we are. The third point is your first milestone. So by the age of 35, hit your first wealth milestone. It can be 25,000, it can be 50,000, it can be 15,000. It all depends about your situation, and everyone is different and everyone is having a different situation right now. But keep it realistic, but have this discipline to actually reach it and write up your goal. Because if you are by 35 having 25%, you're almost 90% ahead of your peers that did not start already from watching this video. So it's not magic, it's just consistency. So smaller numbers, automated, invested for long term. That is how the 1% builds their wealth. So we know now that the 1% secret is control, confidence, and compound wealth. So what actually changes when you do this? You stop wondering where your money went and you actually own your income. And instead of money controlling you every month, you're actually the one controlling the money. And that is a psychological shift that is giving you so much more freedom. And what happens as well? The wealth compounds, and by the age of 35, you're 90% ahead of everyone else, of your peers. And you've got an emergency fund, you've got some investments, you're ready to maybe buy that house, but most importantly, you're not stressed about money anymore. And here's the thing, you didn't earn significantly more, you just had a different system than everyone else. Someone might earn 10x your money, but they have not a single euro left every month. And that is the secret of how you manage your money. Wealth isn't luck, it's a system. So the difference between paycheck to paycheck and the 1% is having the budget. So that is the difference. And you have everything you need to build wealth right now. And you have a stable income. You have the time on your side, and you're in your 20s, maybe your 30s like myself, and you have compound growth that works in your favor the most right now. So the only thing standing between you and them is actually the budget right now. So what is your next move then? Spend 15 minutes to gain freedom. So just download my free Google Sheets budget planner and start by building your wealth. It's already pre-built with categories, savings, expenses, and also for the fun money, of course. Inside the sheet, there is a video tutorial, takes you straight back to YouTube, and easy to track monthly expenses and leaks. This is where you will find your leaks. So I would like to just thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you can build wealth together with me. And please, when you have started to track your budgeting, after a month or so, come back to this video, tell me how it went. How is your goals going? What are your goals? Already comment them right now before you go watch the next video that is gonna be on the screen as well, to learn how to build wealth and get financially stable with me, and also how to make it easy, because we want to make money simple. Thank you very much for watching this video.